Hello everyone, welcome back to Believers IAS Academy Bangalore. This is everyday news analysis session, and in today's session we are going to look into some 5 to 6 important articles from various newspapers. Without any delay, we start the session. The first article is about very important, that is draft UGC regulations 2024. Why it is in news? It is in news because University Grants Commission, that is UGC, has released draft UGC minimum standards of instructions in award of undergraduate and postgraduate degrees 2024 to bring sweeping reforms in India's higher education sector. So it is brought in a draft regulations. That's why it is in news. We'll see what are the key provisions. We'll also see what is a University Grants Commission. These new regulations will apply to all the central, state, private and deemed universities across all India. Okay, that is why these draft regulations become very important. So what is University Grants Commission? University Grants Commission was inaugurated in 1953 by Maulana Abdul Kalam Azad, who was the Minister of Education. It was established as a statutory body in November 1956 under the UGC Act of 1956. Okay, so there can be a tricky question that UGC was established from the beginning as a statutory body. That statement becomes wrong. Okay, because it was not a statutory body from the beginning. It was the executive body, later turned into a statutory body through the UGC Act of 1956. Okay, the Sargent Report 1944 recommended the University Grants Committee, which was established in 1945, initially handling universities by 1947. So this University Grants Committee has a history before the independence itself. It is a history of colonial era. Okay, post independence, the University Education Commission under Dr. S. Radhakrishnan proposed reorganizing the committee along the lines of UK's University Grants Commission. Okay, so initially it was University Grants Committee, which was recommended by Sargent Report, and it was established in 1945, and it was later converted into the University Education Commission, and this University Education Commission was converted to University Grants Commission on the lines of United Kingdom. Okay, so this is a brief history. There has been a proposal to replace University Grants Commission with Higher Education Commission of India. It is under consideration, but we have to see if the news goes through. Then what are the functions of UGC? It handles providing funds to higher education institutions, coordination, determination and maintenance of academic standards. Okay, all these works are the works of University Grants Commission. So now, what are the draft UGC regulations of 2024? Okay, so aim is to reform India's higher education system, to introduce flexibility, multidisciplinary learning and inclusivity in higher education while removing disciplinary rigidities. Then what are the key provisions under this? Key provisions is biannual admissions, meaning institutions can admit a student twice a year now. Initially there was only once in a year, that was around July to August. Now there have been two instances, that is July, August or January, February. Then multiple entry and exit. Students can enter or exit their programs multiple times with continuous assessments, recognition of prior learning and the possibility to pursue two programs at the same time. Okay, so you can pursue two graduations or two degrees at the same time now. Then there is also flexibility for students. Flexibility for students can choose any discipline for undergraduate and PG program irrespective of their background, subject to clearing the entrance exams. Okay, so previously if you want to pursue a graduate or postgraduate, you have to clear certain specific exams and you have to belong to a particular background. But now that provision has been removed. Okay, now you can belong to any background. As long as you are clearing the entrance exam, you are eligible for any course. And this is very important. Minimum attendance requirement. Institutions will set the minimum attendance based on the program specific requirements and statutory approach in line with NEP 2020. So now it has a provision that there should be minimum attendance. Okay, minimum attendance requirement is there, so that only if you maintain the minimum attendance requirement, only then you will get the degree certificates. Okay, and then university grants, undergraduate degree credits. That is, at least 50% of the credits must be earned in the major discipline for an undergraduate degree. The remaining 50% credits can be from skill courses, apprenticeships or multidisciplinary subjects. Okay, it has shared the university degree credits meaning you can get the degree certificate with 50% coming from the undergraduate degree, rest of the 50% coming from skill courses, apprenticeship, internship, and etc. etc. Then what is the duration of degree? Undergraduate can be completed in 3 to 4 years depending on the course structure. Postgraduates will be typically take 1 to 2 years, though they can be longer or shorter based on the program. This is similar to what we are having now. What we are having now. Then accelerated and extended degree programs. What is this? ADP, that is accelerated degree programs, allows student to complete their degree in a shorter duration while covering the full curriculum. Okay. So normally what happens here is you want to complete a syllabus in one seminar or one semester. Only after one semester you are going to write the exams. But if you are capable enough, you can you can complete the syllabus of 2 semesters within one semester, and you can write the exams of 2 semesters within like in a single semester, and then pass on to the next year or next semesters. That is accelerated degree program. Extended degree program extends the duration for students who need more time to complete the program. Okay, this is for students who feel that they cannot complete the syllabus within one semester. If you are not able to complete one syllabus within one semester, you can extend it to second semester. Okay, there can be one exam after 2 semesters. Okay, that is extended, and then is accelerated. Accelerated is reducing the course time, or extended is increasing the course size or time. Up to 10% of the section intake can be earmarked for ADP. Students can choose ADP or EDP by the end of their first or second semester. First, you have to understand where your capabilities are, and then you will understand the syllabus and what is the requirement. Based on that, you can either choose accelerated or extended degree programs. ADP and EDP degrees will include a note specifying the adjusted duration while ensuring the full academic content is covered. Okay, then postgraduate eligibility. Who are the persons who can pursue postgraduate? Students completing a 4-year undergraduate degree, which can be honors, research, BTech, BE, will be eligible for 2-year postgraduate program. Okay, so these are the draft guidelines. They have not yet been passed. Once they are passed, we'll have another discussion if there is any changes. If there are no changes, then we'll keep the discussion to this only. Then second one is about an editorial which was present in the Hindu. Editorial talks about Sambhal and the perils of judicial evasion. Okay, the editorial is written by Khaleshwaram Raj, who is a lawyer at the Supreme Court of India. He criticizes the judicial inactiveness. Okay, we'll see that. So it talks about judicial inaction and its consequences. You might have heard about Sambhal. Okay, what is Sambhal? Sambhal is a district in Uttar Pradesh where there were communal clashes because of a status of a mosque. Many people believe that mosque has been a converted temple, meaning there was a temple before the mosque, and that temple has been converted into mosques. Okay, and the people are asking to revert it back to the temple. Okay, reverted back to the temple, and the communities, that is Muslim community, are against it. As a result, there are communal tensions. As a result, it led to lathi charges, lot of violence, and death of 2 people. So that is why it becomes very important, and the role of judiciary in Sambhal incident also becomes important. According to the article draws attention to the judicial inactivism, where the courts fail to meet their adjudicative duty. Okay, they become inactive. Scholar Chalmers M. Oldfather describes how inaction by judiciary can have consequences as serious as judicial overreach, often harder to detect and deeply impactful. Okay, within judiciary there is judicial review, judicial activism, judicial overreach, and then judicial inactiveness. Judicial review is there is a action or legislation taken by the government or executive or the parliament. Then you are going to then you are going to verify the constitutional validity of the act. That is judicial review. And what is judicial activism? Judicial activism is you are going ahead, that is judiciary is going ahead and making a policy. Okay, making a policy under the article 142. What is judicial overreach? It is going another step forward, the judicial activism, meaning you are going to the domain of parliament, you are going to the domain of executive, where you are taking up actions of executive. Normally judicial overreach is considered as negative. Here this author or this scholar, that is Chalmers M. Oldfather, says that judicial overreach is considered as negative, even the judicial inactivism is also negative, because if you are not active in judiciary, and if you are passing the responsibility, and if you are not taking firm actions, then it is going to impact the government or impact the citizenry as much as judicial overreach has. Okay, so both are on the extreme extents of a single pole, you can say. Then, what is Shambhal Masjid case? This is a recent instance. Supreme Court of India, while handling the Shambhal Masjid case in Uttar Pradesh, is presented as a troubling instance of judicial difference. Okay, by issuing an order to freeze the case and transferring the matter to the Allahabad High Court, judiciary is criticized for not taking a firm stance. This decision, while temporarily easing tensions, highlights judicial reluctance to address constitutional and legal challenges directly. Okay, as I told you, because of the masjid, the case went to Supreme Court. Supreme Court, instead of taking up the case and giving a decision, what it did is it put a freeze on the case and then sent it back to the lower court, that is Allahabad High Court. It is a form of judicial difference or judicial inactivism here. Then, about Places of Worship Act and judicial legislative inaction. Places of Worship Act, we already discussed this in previous classes or previous news analysis. If you want, you can check our previous news analysis and you will get detailed analysis of previous year Places of Worship Act. Places of Worship Act, it prohibits conversion of religious sites as they existed on August 15, 1947. Okay, this article emphasizes that this act is a critical legal safeguard. Okay, legal safeguard in order to not change the not change the present condition of a particular monument. Whether if it is a masjid, and if it was masjid at the time of August 15, 1947, then it should be masjid even now. It doesn't matter if it was temple 200 years back. It doesn't matter if it was church 400 years back. Okay, if it is a masjid or if it is a mosque as of August 15, 1947, this should remain so. But there is a drawback here. Okay, within this Places of Worship Act, there is some exceptions. The exception is if that monument, if the temple of the masjid, if the church that is in contention, if it has a historical connotation or if it is considered as an ancient monument, if it is archaeological significance, then those monuments can be checked by Archaeological Survey of India, so that it can determine the what you can say, it can determine the originality of the monument, and if it is of like extreme importance, then it can be made to restore it back to its old glory. So that exception has been misused by many cases. Okay, that exception was used in the Babri Masjid case also, and it has been used in presently Sambal cases also. Then, however, judicial hesitance and the legislature's failure to enforce or uphold it in the recent years have allowed politically motivated communal issues to persist. Though there is an act, though it mandates not to change the nature of a temple or mosque, but it has not been properly implemented by both legislature, executive, and it has not been taken into account by judiciary as well. As a result, it is only safeguard in paper but not in reality. Then, historical patterns of judicial evasion. The court's difference in earlier cases is noted, meaning it has given some examples. That is, in Shaheen Bagh protest, which happened in Delhi, against the Citizenship Amendment Act, that is CAA, the court deferred the action by forming the committees instead of addressing the issue legally. Okay, in Shaheen Bagh protest, people are protesting in the Shaheen Bagh area, and they are holding hartals, and it was troubling the citizens, and it was troubling traffic everywhere. Okay, so Supreme Court, instead of directly dealing with the case, what it did is it formed a committee in order to go there and talk with these Shaheen Bagh protesters, interlocutors, so that they can bring a consensus. But that is not how the judiciary should act there. That is what according to the other here. In Rakesh Vaishnav vs. Union of India case 2021, the court avoided directly ruling on the contentious farm laws and instead facilitated the negotiations. Okay, so this is not what a judiciary should be doing. Judiciary, under judicial review, what it should do is it should see the legality, that is constitutional validity of farm laws, and if it is not constitutionally valid, it should have said that null and void itself. But instead of that, it formed a committee and it wanted to negotiations between farmer leaders and the government. That is not how judiciary should work, according to the other, not according to me. And then about a critique of judiciary roles. The judiciary's evasion of the key issues has enabled the divisive communal agendas. That is, by not asserting its position, the court inadvertently reinforces social and political uncertainties, undermining its role as a protector of constitutional values. So, what is required is reaffirming the constitutional mandate. The author says that judiciary should urge to fulfill its constitutional obligations to uphold secular fabric of India. If the judiciary keeps on inactiveness, if the judiciary keeps on being inactive, then there will be more cases where the masjids can be converted into temple, where the temple can be converted into like mosque, etc., etc., which is going to have a negative impact on secular fabric of India. It is going to divide India even more on the basis of communal politics. So judiciary should step in and should fulfill its constitutional safeguard. That is, it should not be inactive. The need for courts to take assertive positions on sensitive issues like Ganawapi mosque case and similar disputes is emphasized to preserve justice and harmony. So these are some of the points given by article, very important article. Do make mention about or do take note about these two cases, Shama protest, etc., etc. And you can also make provisions about Place of Worship Act, okay, and the judicial review, judicial inactivism, judicial overreach, and you can also note down this scholar, that is Chalmers old father, okay, Chalmers M old father. You can use this in your polity answers, or you can also use this in essays whenever it is necessary. Okay, Chalmers M old father. Then there is another editorial in the the Hindu. It talked about deepening India's steps as a key spacefaring nation. Okay, so the context here is India has an ambitious space course. That is, India aims to establish itself as a key spacefaring nation in the next 2 decades. The ISRO, through its innovations like Next Generation Launch Vehicle, that is NGLV, seeks to achieve strategic autonomy in space access. Okay, Next Generation Launch Vehicle. What are the launch vehicles presently available in India? PSLV, that is Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, and then GSLV, that is Geosynchronous Launch Vehicle, and then there is SSLV, Small Scale Launch Vehicle. These are 3 launch vehicles which are present in India. Okay, but next generation launch vehicles, which are intended to be larger in capacity compared to GSLV, okay, NGLV, these are intended to be more powerful and which can carry more weight compared to GSLV Mark III. Okay, the largest or the heaviest carrier of space vehicle in India is GSLV Mark III, but it is nowhere near compared to the launch vehicles in USA, launch vehicles in Russia, launch vehicles by even Elon Musk or Tesla, okay, SpaceLink. So the government or the ISRO wants to generate launch vehicles so that it can achieve strategic autonomy in space access. Then ISRO's roadmap and the Gaganyaan mission. India's space program has evolved since 1960s. That is, Gaganyaan mission will send an Indian crew to space for the first time, showcasing human space flight capability. This is one of the very significant, significant program of ISRO. So it will establish India as a major. ISRO already is a major space faring country, but it is going to establish India as a reckoning force with that one. Long-term plans to include maintaining a sustained space presence and advancing human-centric technologies for space exploration. Okay, then the other talks about NGLV as a game changer. NGLV, which is focusing on reusability and heavy lift capacity, will boost cost efficiency and payload capabilities. It will replace the expendable LVM3 rockets, making a shift to sustainable and competitive rocket technologies. Okay, very important. Launch Vehicle Model 3 or LVM rocket is also called as GSLV Mark III. Initially it was GSLV Mark III, now they have changed the name to LVM3, Launch Vehicle Model 3. And this NGLV, it is characterized by reusability, meaning you can get the same rocket back into the place. Okay, normally what happens is, once you launch the rocket, and whenever it places the payloads in the space, whenever it places the payloads in the orbit, then the work of that particular rocket is over and you cannot reuse it anywhere. But now these vehicles are being focused on reusability, so that you don't spend again and again for our launch vehicles. This has already been achieved by Elon Musk in Tesla. Okay, Elon Musk company has already achieved this one. Most of the other countries are also working on this one. Then the immediate need, according to the other, is the India's uncrewed moon mission relies on LVM rockets, 3 rockets, which highlights the necessity for heavy lift solutions. Comparisons with SpaceX's Falcon 9 reveal a gap in payload capacity, emphasizing the urgency to develop advanced rocket systems. Okay, that is what it is saying. Though we have LVM models which is being used in India's moon missions, that is Chandrayaan 2, and it is also routed to be used as a vehicle in Gaganyaan mission. Okay, Gaganyaan mission, but the other says that it is nowhere near the SpaceX Falcon 9. And the other also asked the ISRO to leverage private sector. The article underscores the potential of India's private industrial base in designing and building reusable rockets. Collaboration and milestone-based functioning or funding mechanisms can ensure accountability and promote commercialization of space. Okay, this way you can improve the space sector in India. And then future of space exploration. According to other, India's success in space hinges on a robust space transportation ecosystem and integration of private sector innovation. Expanding activities like moon exploration and satellite deployment will strengthen India's global position in the space race. Okay, so this is an article, and these are the key points in that article. And then there is an article in the Indian Express. It talked about center pushes for snake bite as notifiable disease. Okay, so we'll see what is notifiable disease, what is snake bites. We already know what is snake bites. We'll see how some statistics, and we'll learn more about snake bites. Union Health Ministry has urged states to classify snake bites as notifiable disease, requiring mandatory reporting by the hospitals to improve public health responses. Okay, so about the data statistics about snake bites in India. Snake bites result in 3 to 4 million cases in India, with 58,000 deaths annually. Okay, in a year, 58,000 people die because of snake bites. This was as per Indian Million Death Study in 2020. High risk states include Bihar, Jharkhand, Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Uttar Pradesh, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Rajasthan, and Gujarat. There is a national action plan present in India, that is the National Action Plan for Prevention and Control of Snake Bite Environment. Snake bite envenoming. That is NAPSE. Aims to halve snake bite death by 2030. Okay, and there are certain medically significant snakes. India has around 310 snake species, of which 23 species are medically significant, are considered medically significant. The big four, or the snakes which cause most bites or most deaths, are Indian cobra, common krait, Russell viper, and saw-scaled viper. These snakes are called as big four because of not because they are big in the size or anything, because of the most bites. Then, why snake bites are notifiable? Why do you want to make snake bites notifiable? What is the advantage of making a snake bite notifiable? It will improve surveillance. Accurate data on cases and deaths can aid resource allocation and healthcare training. Okay, and it will result in better management. That is, enhanced tracking strengthens clinical management and antivenom availability. This is the reason why center is urging states to make snake bite as notifiable. Then, what are the challenges in treating snake bites? Challenges is treatment barriers. That is, there is delayed access. Victims often rely on the faith healers or fail to reach the healthcare on time. Okay, faith healers are those people who, based on the god or deity, etc., based on the supernatural, they believe that they can suck out or they can take out the venom, but that doesn't normally work on the venom. As a result, most people die. And then lack of training, and healthcare staff are not adequately trained to treat the snake bites. Testing gaps, no test exit to confirm snake bites in India. And then antivenom issues, that is venom variability. Venom composition varies by geography and snake age. Example, neonatal Russell's viper venom is more toxic compared to other venoms. Okay, for each venom there needs to be another antivenom. Okay, each venom has a different properties. A venom can focus on attacking your neural system. Another venom can focus on attacking your blood system. Another venom can focus on attacking your brain system. Okay, so the venom also differs, and venom's impact also differs. So based on the properties of venom, we have to develop antivenom. So for many venoms, we don't have antivenom right now at the moment. Okay, as a result, it is very difficult to develop antivenoms. Limited coverage, that is, existing antivenoms are in fact ineffective against certain local species like the banded krait or the green pit vipers. Okay, so there is no venoms for these things, antivenoms. And side effects, That is, antivenoms can cause adverse reactions. Okay, these are the issues related to antivenom. And then issues related to venom collection challenges. Venom is primarily sourced from snakes caught by Irola tribe in Tamil Nadu, in Karnataka and Kerala. Okay, wildlife protection laws, that is the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, restricts snake access and complicating venom collection. Okay, yesterday in test discussion, previous year question discussion, we discussed about Toda tribe. Okay, Toda tribe, because they have knowledge about snake bites or snake venom. Okay, I was mistaken there. It is not Toda tribe, it is actually Irola tribe. Irola tribe is famous for venom extraction, and they were the one of the victims of biopiracy also. Then, what should be the future interventions? Future should focus on artificial solutions. That is, researchers are developing artificial antibodies and design peptides to neutralize venom across species. Zonal venom banks, that is, experts suggest regional venom banks to address geographical differences through though legal restrictions pose challenges. Okay, we can have a zonal venom banks, so that we can address the geographical barriers or geographical differences, and we can also focus on artificial solutions. Okay, that is artificial antibodies and design peptides. So this is about like snake bites, and what is venom and what is antivenom, and why it should be like why it should be considered as a notifiable disease. Okay, and then article about International Fund for Agriculture Development. It is mainly important from prelims perspective. Why it is in news? Because recently the Odisha government is planning to secure rupees 734.8 crore external loan from the International Fund for Agriculture Development, that is IFAD, to implement phase 2 of Odisha particularly vulnerable tribal groups empowerment and livelihood improvement program, that is OPLIP 2. Okay, so we'll understand what is IFAD. International Fund for Agriculture Development. It is an international financial institution and a specialized agency of United Nations. Okay, it is not an organ of United Nations, but it is just a specialized agency of United Nations. It invests in rural people, empowering them to improve their food security, nutrition, and incomes through funding for grants and low interest loans to several projects. It was founded in 1977 in response to global food crisis. IFAD supported projects have reached hundreds of millions of people around the world. Then it works in areas where poverty and hunger are most prominent. It is the only specialized global developmental organization exclusively focused on and dedicated to transforming agriculture, rural economies, and food system. These are all general points, but you have to know about this. IFAD grants support research, innovation, institutional change, and pro-poor technologies. Then IFAD extends two types of grants depending on the nature of the innovation and the scope of intervention, that is global or regional grants and country-specific grants. Okay, and then IFAD headquarters is located in Rome. It is a member of United Nations Development Group, that is UNDP. This is about IFAD. It is news because Odisha is trying to get loans, but that news is not very important for now at the moment. But this IFAD becomes important from this perspective. Next and the last article for today is about Chinnaswamy Subramanya Bharati. Okay, Chinnaswamy Subramanya Bharati. Who is Chinnaswamy Subramanya Bharati and why it is in news? It is in news because a complete and annotated version of the works of C. Subramanya Bharati will be released by Prime Minister Modi in New Delhi. This is the news article. Compiled over decades, Subramanya Bharati's collected works to be released by Prime Minister Modi. So, who is Subramanya Bharati? Subramanya Bharati was a poet, freedom fighter. This is a photo. Okay, this is that person. Subramanya Bharati is a poet, freedom fighter, and a social reformer from Tamil Nadu. Okay, Tamil Nadu. He was known as Mahakavi Bharatiyar. He is considered one of India's greatest poets. His songs on nationalism and freedom of India helped rally the masses to support the Indian independence movement in Tamil Nadu. Okay, during independence, it is not just political leaders. Okay, political leaders that called down the masses. It is also these poets and such freedom fighters who inspired masses to come and join the freedom movement through their writings, such as poets like poems or literature, etc., etc. Then he was born in Yattayapuram in 1882 and died in Madras in 1921. Bharati joined as assistant editor of Sudesha Mitran. Okay, Sudesha Mitran is a Tamil daily in 1904. In 1907, he started editing the Tamil weekly called India and English newspaper Bhalabharatam with M.P.T. Acharya. Then he assisted Arbindo in Arya Journal and later Karma Yogi in Pondicherry. Aurobindo is Aurobindo Ghosh. He had a R.A. General and Karma Yogi, a journal which were present in started by Aurobindo Ghosh. He was also there in, he helps write this one. Unfortunately, Bharati was persecuted for his convictions both by the British and by the orthodox elements of his own society, who treated him as an outcast. Okay, see, that is the unfortunate truth about Indian independence movement. They were not only criticized by British, but they were also criticized by orthodox elements in India. Okay, because of their ideas, they are criticized by orthodoxies. Because most of the freedom fighters or most of the social reformers ideas were like heterodox in nature, meaning they were reformative in nature, which always goes against the orthodoxy elements of the society. Okay, so he was exiled from British India in 1908 and went to live in Pondicherry, which was a French colony present in South India. Okay, don't forget this one. Pondicherry was a French colony even after the independence. Okay, then he spent 10 years in exile there and eventually returned to Madras, where he died there. Most of his compositions are classifiable as short lyrical outpourings of patriotic, devotional, and mystic themes. Bharati was essentially a lyrical poet, and Bharati's best known works include Kannan Pattu, that is Songs to Krishna, Panchali Saptam, that is Panchali's Vows, and then Kuil Pattu, that is Kuil Song. He also translated Vedic hymns, Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, and Bhagavad Gita into Tamil. So this is about Subramaniam Bharati. Very important from today's perspective. So these are the articles which I decided to discuss in today's news analysis. If you have any doubt regarding this one, you can write in the comment box. And if you like the video, please hit the like button, also comment on it and share it with your friends. And if you are new to the channel, subscribe to the channel and also click on the bell icon so that you don't miss a notification. With this, I will end the session. Jai Hind.